You need to stop telling your friends about all the good deals. I would argue it's actually selfish. Hi, my name is Sean. I'm the UC Berkeley graduate that created and taught the university-sponsored course on credit card rewards. I'm here with my co-host, Sherwin.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sherwin, a Stanford student who's really into the credit card, points, miles, travel hobby, here to share with you all the stuff I've learned along the way. Today's episode is titled, When Sharing Isn't Caring, Why It's Selfish to Share Deals.
Yeah, so when we talk about sharing deals, we're talking about sharing these game-breaking, truly amazing, one-of-a-kind, once-in-a-lifetime deals. And you need to think of these deals, these truly amazing things that are, unicorn redemptions, airfares, air nights and hotel rates. It's like a poorly maintained bridge, okay? If like a few people cross at a time, no big deal, not a problem. But when everyone and their dog tries to get across at the same time, you know what happens to the bridge? It collapses, and the deal goes away forever. So, Sherwin, just give me your thoughts a bit on this, and when people are sharing these deals, and maybe you could give me a bit more specifics on the nature of this.
Yeah, I think one important example to start with are error fares. So a lot of times, sometimes airlines, even hotels will have a glitch where the fare becomes super cheap. So sometimes it's something crazy like $300 for an international long-haul business class flight. There are more outrageous examples like that one or, more modest ones. But the point is they are usually only going to be there for a couple hours. You kind of have to jump on them. And then if too many people do it, they discover it, they'll cancel most of the flights and refund you, or, it just won't pop up again. Other types of deals that get shared that go away quickly can include things like a lot of award availability, either on flights or at hotels. If it all gets booked up, then the deal goes away, right? So, the more people it gets shared with, the less likely the deal is going to last. Sean, does that make sense? Do you have any other examples that come to mind?
Yeah, so it's especially important to note that it's really something that you have to think, does the deal scale well? So let's give some examples of deals that probably would have existed and would have stayed alive if they were not overly publicized. So one, and I'm not blaming the creators for posting these, okay? I'm just saying that they likely did die because they were over publicized. So 1 Mile at a Time, one of my favorite blogs, posted a deal about how for 50,000 points a night, this is back in 2021, that you could book the Thompson Cabo's penthouse villa. This is like a $3,000 a night villa, 3 bedrooms, massive kitchen, private rooftop with a private hot tub and barbecue area. Okay, ridiculously good redemption, absurdly good. It had been active for several months up until he had posted that article. You know what happened when that article went up? Within a few days to a few hours, gone. Never to come back. It can't be done again. So if that hadn't been published, if not all the people had found out about it, we might still be able to book it at that redemption. This was back when the hotel was a category 6. So that was sad. Now you can't book that anymore. Another one. Air France recently had airfares from certain destinations for 5,000 points or even less. It was like 1,500 points for certain airport pairs. And everyone talked about this all over the blogs, everywhere. And guess what happened? Everything got canceled. So when too many people jump on these deals, it ruins it. If there were less people that had known about these, they might have been alive. Sherwin, do you have any other specific examples? I think we should share some more just to really hammer in this point.
I think the one that annoyed me the most was the IHG Diamond extension getting axed. So previously, this was already widely talked about, to be honest. I wouldn't say it was a secret, but if you had IHG Diamond status, which is your top tier status, you were able to extend it for another year by simply purchasing Intercontinental Ambassador status, which costs $200. Intercontinental Ambassador is a separate package, separate program that confers you benefits at Intercontinental Hotels, which is only a subset of IHG. But there was some kind of loophole, whether intentional or not, where if you had purchased that during the year and you had IHG Diamond status at that time, it would extend it for another year, and you wouldn't have to meet the 70-night threshold to continue that. This got repeatedly talked about and in my opinion, excessively posted about on various blogs. And, people were sort of idiotic enough to call up IHG customer service and ask them, if this was a real thing. If can I extend diamond using Ambassador? Obviously, customer service people said no because that's never in the terms. It's just something widely known to have worked. And sometime last year, it just got shut down entirely. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. That's all I have to say.
I totally agree. I was planning to renew Ambassador. I loved having IHG Diamond status. It was cool because you can buy the IHG points and stay for discounts. But now I can't do that anymore. And now I learned about it from the blogs, so totally guilty on that front. But at the same time, it's gone because everyone talked about it. Some other
also,
examples.
If something works, it's not supposed to work. Don't call customer service and ask them if it's supposed to work. That is just the worst way to do it. I don't know. People were talking about in the comments of these blogs that they had customer service and they said it was false. Yada yada. We're like, why are you calling them about it?
Exactly. If it's like a special kind of loophole that's not, don't call if you get the 5,000 point Air France award ticket, don't call Air France and start making changes to the ticket. You keep that ticket or you cancel it. You don't get to move it around. Okay. You're stuck with it. So
yeah.
Some other examples. There was Dreams Miami had a $30 air rate a night. Got posted in the Discord server, link in the description, but also got posted on Reddit's before it was in the Discord server and other places. And, I booked a ton of nights. A bunch of people booked a ton of nights and it was canceled, right? If only one guy had found out about it and then they had fixed it then, probably could have, left and dealt with the, lost revenue from that one person. Not when thousands of people are doing it. Literally anything related to manufactured spending has this as well. So anyone that is into manufactured spending won't share the information behind it because once a good manufactured spending method comes out, they just get rid of it because, once it's public, it's gone. ANA had an airfare earlier this year for first class tickets. I booked several, all got canceled. All the blogs talked about it, went everywhere. Another example, Waldorf Cabo, sometimes they've had award dumps. They're posted on the blogs. They're gone within a few hours. And, of course, people are booking them, but still it's when they're publicized so widely, they go away so quickly. So not all of them, failed only due to being overly publicized, but a lot of them probably would have been fine if not everyone had known about them, especially IHG Diamond Extension and some of these airfares. If they had been kept secret, it would have worked. So, Sherwin, when do we know if we should talk about a deal or not? Because I'm saying it's selfish in the sense that, you're sharing it for clout to a degree. When can you talk about a deal? When is it safe?
Well, I think the number one guideline is if it's a deal you plan to take advantage of, you should probably book it first yourself or take advantage of it before you share it with anyone. Because the longer you wait, the more people will have access to it and whatnot. I also realize that other people may discover the deal too and may share it even if you don't intend on sharing it. And a lot of times this information inevitably becomes available. So that's another consideration. Sean, what are some other considerations?
Yeah, so I think one is, when you find a deal, does it scale and is the cat already out of the bag? So what I mean by that, does it scale? Is the deal something that they intend to do? And is it something that if more people took advantage of it, that the company providing said deal could withstand? So is it like an award dump, for example? Okay, award dumps to a degree are fair game because that's intended. So if you're sharing it with your friends, that's an intended thing. Someone else is going to eventually take the award dump, right? The award's there. But is it something like a 1,500 point flight air rate? Is it a $500 first class ticket? Those aren't going to scale. Okay, if you have people booking the entire calendar for ANA first class at $500, they're not going to allow that to happen. It just can't happen. Another thing is the cat already out of the bag? So let's say you're the first person to discover something that no one else discovered before. Really important to keep it secret. But let's say if you already heard about it on Frequent Mile or in 1 Mile at a Time, okay, go share it with whoever you want. It's out of the bag already. It's not a problem. And I do want to be clear when I say talk about being selfish sharing a deal, I'm not saying to not share interesting deals with your friends at all. I'm just saying to understand the mindset of when people get upset with you for sharing a deal, there's a reason behind it. There is a point to not share it. Because if you share it, it might ruin it for everyone. Just like the bridge that if too many people walk across is worse for everyone involved.
Yeah, I would agree with those points. So, Sean, were there any deals that, like, on the flip side, didn't die or at least semi stayed alive despite being widely shared?
Yeah, so one of the ones I wish I could have taken advantage of, and I was not as well connected back when this happened as I am now, but the Simply Miles American Airlines deal was absurdly good, where you could basically buy American Airlines miles at 0.42 cents per piece. Not 4.2, 0.42 cents per piece. Meaning if you had booked a business class ticket from Middle East to Asia, it's $200 worth of miles, under $200 worth of miles. So, and you could buy unlimited of them, by the way. Oh, and they gave you status with it eventually. But so that was posted on Frequent Miler. It died soon after in the sense that they had to shut the deal down, but they honored everyone who got in. So sometimes these things do work. Another one back several years ago, there was a Cathay Pacific like first class deal out of Vietnam and business class out of Vietnam, which they ended up honoring, which was really, really cool that they did that. So some of these things don't die, but they can definitely die. Sherwin, what do you think is a good mindset of when you should think about, okay, can I share this? Should I share it? Am I being selfish from sharing it? Because there are deals, I will say right now. Sherwin and I, even before this podcast, were discussing a very interesting deal that we know about. And we aren't going to tell a soul. Because if we tell anyone, I guarantee you it will be gone very, very, very fast. And so if we were to share it with someone, it would actually be selfish on our part because it would be gone. We would just be sharing it for clout. There wouldn't benefit anyone knowing this deal because it cannot scale. It will not scale. So what are your thoughts, Sherwin?
I think the question of whether it will scale as you've outlined is a very good question to ask. You should just ask yourself if sharing this will kill it and make everyone worse off because the deal is entirely no longer available. Then yeah, probably a bad idea to share it. On the other hand, if it's something like a award dump that you've already taken advantage of, or if it's just like some really cheap sale that doesn't seem like it was accidental on the airline's part, it isn't like insanely low, that's probably fair game. As Sean has said, anything that's already been widely discussed or posted. I mean, there's also the question of like the degree to which you share, do you post about it publicly online where everyone can see it? Do you only share it with your close friends? That might be a reasonable thing to do in certain situations, like share it with only a few people, but not with like everyone else in the world. So I think it's a highly deal specific question. It's hard to generalize.
Definitely. And I think I want to be very clear because a lot of people I'm sure are going to be very mad at me like for talking this way and saying, oh, you should stop sharing deals. Look, I love sharing deals. That's all I do all day. I read deals all day. It's really fun. I'm just saying to have this understanding a little bit of that, maybe that deal going to public isn't actually a good thing for everyone involved because then the small amount of people that got in don't get it at all. And we're still going to be sharing deals in the Discord server. Plug for the Discord server, link in the description, 100% for free. But some deals that we have posted that have not died. So someone in our server, Revington, he posted about ANA first class award space, a full dump from, I think it was Haneda to San Francisco and back and forth on the suite. I was able to take advantage of that. So we knew about that before any other blogs posted about it, before even like Thrifty Traveler Premium posted about it. We knew about it. Thank you, Revington. We knew about Etihad first class award space. I think it was Renfee is their name, who posted that first. So we were able to book Etihad first class apartment. Sherwin, you were able to book that from the
award. Yes, I took advantage of it, and I got 3 seats on the same very flight, which is unheard of usually in the first class space. And I was only able to do that because it was shared in our Discord server the day before it was widely publicized on the various blogs. If I had waited until after everyone else had seen it on the blogs, I likely wouldn't have been able to book it for 3 seats in literally one of the best first class products in the world. So and this goes to the thing I said, like how many people do you share with was the question, right? Like I was able to take advantage because it was shared on our Discord server where it's growing, it has a lot of people, but it's not maybe at this time as widely available as like all those big blocks. So that actually makes a difference as to whether I was able to take advantage of that deal.
Yeah, and that was like an award space as well. So us knowing about it, yes, like we took it away, but it's not like they didn't take all the award space back or something. We were able to book it.
That being said, I think Aeroplane has been having trouble, getting award space with Etihad. I think there's kind of an ongoing issue, possibly because a lot of people booked Etihad, first class awards. It's kind of a bummer now that it's sort of been unavailable on Aeroplan entirely. Have you heard about this?
I've heard about this, and I suspect it's because someone at Etihad must have fat fingered it and released the entire cabin into first class, because that's what happened. There were cabins with 9 seats where all 9 were bookable on first class. And that should not ever happen, by the way, unless it's like a close-in flight or something where they've sold none of them. The airline, you'd have to be an idiot as an airline to do that, because they're getting very, very bad redemption rates on those partner award redemptions.
Yeah,
So
but I think now
someone
the
messed up.
bummer is a lot of people who had booked successfully, like these business or first class tickets on Etihad through Aeroplan, are getting their tickets canceled. Aeroplan is trying to make good on it, but it's been this whole mess. And I think, I don't know if it's a deal thing between Etihad and Aeroplan, but might be specific to their partnership, because as far as I can tell, American Airlines is still able to access that Etihad premium class space, but now any business or first class is not available to Aeroplan at the time of this recording. So, it still shows that on the flip side, there are consequences to deals
Everyone
being
booking.
publicly, but it was something I was able to take advantage because someone was generous enough to share that information with me. So it's always this balance.
Yeah, and you've shared also Ventana, Lila Ventana, basically virtually the hardest Hyatt property in the world to book. Probably only second to maybe Kalala Island, which we also posted. Kalala Island. Kalala Island is a SLH property with Hyatt, category 8. It is I think it's 6 rooms now. There's only 6 rooms on the island, 2 of which I believe are points bookable. It's ultra all-inclusive. Everything is included. It's off the coast of Nicaragua. It is one of the most exclusive hotels in the world. It's like $3,000-$4,000 a night most nights. We posted about it. It's extremely hard to book. I was able to book a week there. Didn't end up going, but I was able to book it, and people in the server were able to book it because we shared it first before anyone else knew about it. So again, it's not that I'm telling you that you can never share a cool deal with your friends and to try to, book cool things and read the blogs. I read the blogs every day. They post very interesting deals, and I've learned a ton from them. All I'm saying is, let's say you're browsing on the Hyatt app and you find Park Hyatt New York for a night that's open, the presidential suite for $10. Don't go post about it on Reddit if no one else has seen it yet. Maybe you'll be the only one to get it, and then they'll take the rate back so no one else gets it, but they won't take your rate back. If you see something like that, shh, because the cat isn't out of the bag yet. If the cat's out of the bag, who cares? But for something like that, if you see a $500 ANA first class ticket, no one else has talked about it yet, maybe don't go put it on the blogs just yet. Once it's there, fair game. But just maybe they'll take it back. Maybe they'll take it back first. So there's even some redemptions I know on hotels that are like still active to this day for a while. And I haven't been sharing them widely because I know if I share them widely, they'll probably get taken away. And then it's just worse for everyone because now this cool redemption won't be open anymore.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good summary. I don't know, it's something I'm torn about because I've benefited so much myself learning from blogs, learning from people in the Discord server, learning from people who generously share the deals and sweet spots they find. But I feel like the longer you play this game, harder it is because all the easy deals kind of trickle away, get harder, So the longer you play a game, the more kind of work doing research and stuff to find cool things you have to do. So it's just a balance and just recognize that everyone is always learning. There's new interesting parts of the game that are revealed all the time. It's not like you can acquire all the knowledge one time and be done with it. It's an evolving game. Sean and I try to learn new things, every week, every month, and we share what we can, but there's a balance to what we're able to talk about or what people are able to talk about.
Absolutely. We're fully in favor of sharing deals. It's just that if sharing a deal will be the reason the deal gets taken back for everyone, we can't share it, not because we don't want to, but just because we can't. It would actually be a selfish act just for clout. But again, for anything else that is not going to be taken back just by the act of sharing the deal, we will be sharing everything we know fully openly for free in the Discord server and on this podcast. So just always want to make that clear. We have learned so much from all these blogs. We're not saying anything negative about them. I love One Mile at a Time. I love Frequent Miler. I read them every day. Wonderful resources, and I recommend checking them out. So I want to be very clear on that.
Yes. So if you enjoyed today's episode and want to learn more and connect with an elite group of travelers who are sharing deals like the ones we've talked about in this episode, please do check out the Discord server down below. If you want to earn more points and miles for your next trip, please consider signing up for one of the credit cards using one of our links below in the description. It really, really greatly helps support our channel. And finally, if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel, which is rapidly growing, and we appreciate all the support we can get. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.